Greetings, Earthlings! I have not sat on a swing in a playground in a lot of years, but here I am, hi, swinging on my swing. So I don't really have like a really pleasant topic for my YouTube video this week. I asked some of my other friends if they had an idea for one that would be fun, and they didn't, and then I just decided to make the not so fun ranting YouTube video that I've been wanting to make for a while, which on the subject that a lot of you have probably heard me complain about before, and I just 95% of the viewers of this video can just click away right now. But it's been bothering me a lot this week, and a lot of tough stuff has been happening this week that's been kind of related to this. And my topic is, do not be a crappy parent. Okay, I mean, it's also ironic that I'm here in the playground. I mean, I was amongst children earlier. Well, not really, actually. I refused to come in here until they were gone. I could have been amongst children, but the last time that I had to take care of a child, a few weeks ago, I read her a book, and then she held the book, and then she pulled pages out of the book, and I masking taped them back into the book, and then I found out it was a library book. So, defacing public property is how it ended the last time I had to take care of a child. So I don't even get near them, even if they already have caretakers. I just avoid them. So, yeah, I really want to talk about how strongly I feel about how serious an undertaking it is when you decide to become a parent. Any idiot can make themselves a kid, okay? It's not hard for a lot of people. I mean, I'm not choosing to pinpoint those who want to have children and can't. Please don't take it that way, but most people can just haul off and have a kid. And that is unfortunate because a lot of people underestimate the job of raising up an actual human being. I mean, it is just ridiculous, the things that have happened to people I know, even to myself, from parents who really didn't seem to understand the magnitude of the life that they were affecting, and thus did not tailor their comments or their choices appropriately in the slightest. I mean, I don't want to tell people stories without their permission, certainly, and I also don't really want to get that far into mine, but suffice to say that if you are a parent, or if you're ever going to be a parent, there are things that you should just never say to your kid that people say to their kids all the time. Don't tell your kid that you don't want them. That happens. Don't tell your kid that their problems aren't real. I mean, how many people do that? That happened to me. My problems weren't real because my parents did not understand about anxiety, and I tried to describe it to them, and I couldn't, as a 6-year-old child, describe why I had random panic attacks, and I got in a lot of trouble. As a result, my parents were always there for me except whenever I really needed them. And you know, this kind of thing has happened to people that I know, that again, I'm not gonna shout them out, I'm not gonna, you know, expose their problems or whatever, and you might not know them or anything, but well, you probably won't. But I mean, I have seen parents who just do ridiculously unthinkable things to their children that you can't even like get arrested for or anything like that, because they're just mind games. Like making your child grow up and have way too much responsibility as a 9-year-old, or not letting a 19-year-old ever test their own wings. It's ridiculous. And I mean, I just hope that this is the generation of people who learns from their parents' mistakes and doesn't treat their kid like they're inconsequential or somehow less human just because they're so much younger. I feel like that happens. Like, my parents thought that I just didn't understand the world and I couldn't describe my problems, and so therefore I could be ignored because I was just a kid. That's wrong. That's really super wrong. And I think it's easy to forget. Like I said, you know, I don't really like hanging around children. The last one I hung around defaced public property. They didn't know that they were doing that, but I mean, kids can be extremely annoying. I'm not saying they can't be annoying, but I'm just saying that when you're entrusted with them as their parent or some really close guardian that has a deep effect on them, like maybe an older sibling or a grandparent or whatever, just be respectful of the fact that they are actual budding humanity. And they have actual feelings, and you are their first experience in the world. As their parents, as their family, they know nothing about the rest of the world. Kids are way smarter than we usually give them credit for, but they still don't have a lot to go on before we start teaching them stuff. Like, they literally don't. And I think my camera is about to die, and this was probably really haphazard, and I have a lot more to say on the subject that I guess I can't say if I'm not going to go into specific stories, but please, please, please have respect over how serious it is to be someone's parent. I do not think that, oh, I'll just wait to start their major development lessons until they're older because it's annoying for me to have my kids underfoot in the kitchen when they're 6. I mean, my parents did that. My mom did a lot of that. My mom did, heck, they can learn it when they're older. And as of now, I haven't. And I also have no real career options. I have no real abilities or ambitions because I was never allowed to do like electives or anything as a kid because my mom thought, why the extra bother? Go the extra bother. You're creating it or forming, molding an actual human being who's going to have to live in the world someday. Don't create somebody who can't exist without you. Don't exist somebody who was terrified of people because their parents treated them so bad. Don't make somebody who has no ambition because they've never tried to do anything in their life because they've never been allowed to do anything. I mean, speaking to the people who haven't had kids yet, what happens in the next generation is basically in our hands. I mean, kids do have their own choices and other things will happen to them, but the biggest effect is going to be from how their parents treat them. Do not treat your kids like crap. Thank you. This has been a PSA from somebody who doesn't even like kids, who just cares about people. And now other children have come to this park and I'm not going to get a chance to swing, which is really disappointing. In fact, I think I might just stay anyway. Goodbye, Earthlings.